Are you ready to become an everyday superhero? And no, I'm not talking about putting on a cape. I'm talking about using the literal secrets of the cosmos to master the art of living peacefully, navigating all that tricky school and friendship drama, and finding total clarity in everything you do. Welcome to this explainer. Think about this for a second. What if ancient secrets and quantum physics held the ultimate cheat code to your friendships? I know it sounds a little wild, right? But today, we're going to bridge thousands of years of profound ancient philosophy with modern quantum science. We'll look at exactly how to apply this incredible wisdom to our daily lives, especially in how we treat our friends and handle our everyday struggles. Okay, let's just jump right into our superhero training manual. We're going to cover becoming an everyday superhero, unlocking your science vision, the quantum friendship connection, choosing good over easy, and finally, your superpower in action. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Becoming an Everyday Superhero. Here, we're going to decode what actually separates a true hero from a villain. So, Chapter 16 of the Bhagavad Gita literally breaks our inner world down into two distinct camps. You've got Dayā Sampad, which are the divine or hero qualities, and Asuri Sampad, the demonic or villain qualities. The hero side is packed with things like fearlessness, purity, sharing, truthfulness, and peacefulness. The villain side? Well, that's pride, anger, deceit, and arrogance. The absolute most crucial takeaway here is that our real villains aren't other people out in the world. Actually, scratch that. They're just our own uncontrolled impulses. Let's take the first hero quality, for example, fearlessness, or abhayam. True fearlessness isn't foolhardiness. It's not, trying to go out and fight a tiger or a lion. That's not being a hero. That's just a terrible idea. True courage is standing up and peacefully resolving an issue. It's having the guts to look your teacher or your parents in the eye and admit that you forgot to do your homework. It's about being truthful and facing the music without spinning a giant web of lies. Moving right along to Section 2, Unlocking Your Science Vision. So what is Vigyan Dristi? Basically, it translates to science vision. It means using knowledge, observation, and science to overcome implausible fears. Look, we all have fears. Maybe it's a fear of the dark, being completely terrified of a tiny cockroach, or just the absolute dread of apologizing to a friend when you know deep down you were in the wrong. By observing your own mind objectively, using that science vision, you can conquer those silly fears because you realize they can't actually harm you. And when you start applying this science vision, it naturally leads you straight to shanti, which means peacefulness. When you use your knowledge to just sit back and observe your mind, you stop overreacting. You find this incredible sense of calm. You're effectively collapsing those villainous impulses, like anger or greed, before they even have a chance to take root. It completely cleanses your mind of all that negative noise. Okay, Section 3, the quantum friendship connection. Get ready because this is where things get really mind-bending. You've probably heard of quantum entanglement, right? Albert Einstein famously called it spooky action at a distance. Modern physics discovered that particles that have once interacted remain mysteriously connected, no matter how far apart they get. Literally, if you measure one, it instantly affects the other, even if it's light years away across the galaxy. Now here is the massive aha moment. Ancient texts were talking about this exact same interconnectedness thousands of years ago. The Kena Upanishad tells us there's an invisible force driving all of our minds. The Isha Upanishad reminds us that everything is totally interconnected and that life is a shared gift. And today, modern quantum field theory says that all these seemingly separate things are actually just ripples in one unified field. So the lesson here, harming a friend or treating them poorly is scientifically and spiritually the exact same thing as harming yourself. We are all deeply, deeply connected. And this brings us to another amazing parallel, the observer effect. In quantum physics, a particle exists in this state of multiple possibilities until it is observed. The very act of observing it changes its reality and collapses it into a definite state. Well, the same thing goes for your mind. When you feel a massive surge of anger toward a friend, if you just let it run wild, it becomes a villainous action. But if you use your science vision to actively observe your anger, you literally change reality. You collapse that anger into a heroic, peaceful action instead. That takes us into Section 4, Choosing Good Over Easy. This is the ultimate choice every single everyday superhero has to face. There's this really famous story in the Katha Upanishad about a brave young boy named Nachiketa who was actually tested by the god of death. He was offered two paths. The first path is Preya, the easy path. This is all about chasing instant pleasure, doing what's fun right now, even if it's wrong, like lying just to get out of trouble. The second path is Shreya, the good path. This is doing what is right, even when it is incredibly difficult. Nachiketa was offered all the easy, tempting pleasures in the world, but he heroically chose Shreya. So how do we actually apply Nachiketa's wisdom during our own school or friendship drama? It's basically a simple 3-step procedure. Step 1, just pause when you feel a strong emotion. Step 2, acknowledge the easy urge, the Preya. Notice that you really want to yell or you really want to lie. And step 3, activate that observer effect. Use your science vision to completely change the outcome and choose the good action, the Shreya. And finally, section 5, your superpower in action. Let's summarize exactly how you can put all this to work. Here is your game plan for tomorrow. First, practice renunciation or tyaga by sharing your chocolate with a sibling or, just giving up the TV remote for a bit. Second, practice sacham by telling the truth, even if you totally messed up on your homework. Third, if you feel anger, krodha, bubbling up, use your science vision to observe it and just count backward from 100 to conquer it. And most importantly, remember that quantum connection. Treat your friend's feelings exactly as you would treat your own. True everyday power is all about humility and self-control. To wrap up our training, I really want to share the essence of the Shanti mantra with you. It is this beautiful, universal prayer for wellness. It says, "May auspiciousness, peace, and prosperity be to all. May everybody be happy and free from disabilities. May all strive for the good of others and none suffer from sorrow." It's just a genuine, heartfelt wish of peace for absolutely everyone in your world. I want to leave you with this one final provocative thought. Tomorrow, when you step out into the world and use your science vision to observe your choices, what kind of universe are you going to create? Will you take the easy path or will you choose the good path? The power to shape reality is quite literally in your hands. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.